What if I told you that two cousins, who deeply disliked each other, helped define the balance of power in the United States government, forever? One was a president. The other became the most powerful Chief Justice in American history. Their names? Thomas Jefferson and John Marshall. And their feud changed America. Jefferson and Marshall were cousins, but there was no family warmth between them. Their personal dislike grew into a deep political and philosophical rivalry. They didn't just disagree. They represented opposite visions of America. Marshall was a passionate Federalist. He believed in a strong central government. Jefferson, on the other hand, founded the party that opposed the Federalists. He believed power should rest primarily with the states, not Washington. This wasn't just politics. This was a battle over the soul of the nation. The election of 1800. The tension exploded during the dramatic election of 1800. Jefferson defeated President John Adams. His party also took control of Congress. For the Federalists, it was a disaster. But Adams wasn't done yet. In the final days of his presidency, the Federalist-controlled Congress rushed to fill federal court positions with loyal Federalists. These became known as the Midnight Appointments. And one of those appointments? John Marshall, named Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Jefferson was furious. So furious that he and Adams stopped speaking to each other for over 12 years. The bombshell case, Marbury v. Madison. 3 years later, in 1803, Marshall delivered one of the most important decisions in American history. Marbury versus Madison. In that ruling, Marshall established the principle of judicial review. That meant the Supreme Court had the power to declare acts of Congress unconstitutional. Think about that. An unelected court could overturn laws passed by elected officials. It was revolutionary. And Jefferson absolutely hated it. Jefferson's warning. Jefferson believed this decision was dangerous. In a letter to Abigail Adams, he warned that giving judges the power to decide what laws are constitutional would make the judiciary a despotic branch. He argued there was not a single word in the Constitution granting judges exclusive authority over constitutionality. To Jefferson, making judges the ultimate arbiters of the Constitution would place America under what he called the despotism of an oligarchy. Why? Because judges were unelected. They served for life. And they couldn't be voted out by the people. Jefferson believed the ultimate power belonged to the people themselves, not to lifetime-appointed judges. Marshall's response. Marshall dismissed Jefferson's arguments. He believed Jefferson's objections came from ambition. He accused Jefferson of wanting unchecked power, arguing that an independent judiciary was necessary to restrain political impulses. To Marshall, the courts were not a threat to democracy. They were its safeguard. Who won? History answered that question. Marshall's doctrine of judicial review survived. Today, judicial review is a cornerstone of the American system of government. The Supreme Court still exercises the authority Marshall claimed in 1803. And John Marshall? He served 34 years as Chief Justice, the longest in U.S. history. Many historians consider him the most influential Chief Justice ever. Jefferson died in 1826. Marshall died in 1835. Although Jefferson reconciled with John Adams in 1812 and resumed their friendship, he never reconciled with Marshall. And he never accepted judicial review as legitimate. Two cousins. Two visions of America. One constitution. And a rivalry that still shapes the balance of power today. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of America's greatest political rivalries, hit like and subscribe for more untold stories from history. Because sometimes, the most important battles aren't fought on battlefields. They're fought in courtrooms.